we're going to jump into this. I'd like to get, just connected with you guys right off the bat and make sure we're on the same page. We have a lot of people on the webinar today, several hundred loan officers ready to learn. So let's jump right into the meat. Chad, don't hesitate to jump in at any moment and interrupt me or throw anything additional in. I'm going to tell you guys who I am and why I have some authority to talk about this subject. So today we're going to talk about how to get realtors begging to do business with you. And stick around to the end because we're going to give you some bonus content at the end as well, some really awesome nuggets for those folks who do have the time they can afford to stick around. So here's some of the things that we're going to learn today. 3 of the biggest mistakes loan officers make marketing to realtors. Why you need to be working with realtors. How to position yourself as the go-to expert in your market. How to get agents begging to work with you. And we're going to throw in a little bit more content for you there. Now, a little bit about me. I am a family man. They are the motivation, the reason I do everything, why I get up in the morning, and why I have to put up with chat, literally. No, but seriously, I love my family, and they are everything to me. So I've got 3 boys, and my daughter, Liberty, she's the oldest. Thank the Lord that she was our firstborn, because she's a huge help. And if any of you have ever seen like WWF or UFC, that is what it's like at my house nonstop with these 3 boys. So I don't know if any of you have sons out there, but those guys can get crazy. I am the founder of a company called RE Success TV, where we primarily work with realtors in the real estate industry, and I get the privilege to travel and speak all over the country at real estate conferences. I train a lot of real estate agents about marketing, business development. I'm the founder of the Real Estate Web Summit, which is a conference that we've done several times with only realtors, and also the Loan Officer Lead Summit. So here is me hanging out with several executives in the real estate industry. And let me give you a quick background of my story. I came into the real estate industry several years ago. I didn't know anybody, and I was working with my 2 partners at this point now, and helping them launch a new company, a new service to the real estate industry. I didn't have any connections. I didn't know anybody in the real estate industry. And I soon realized that I had a huge uphill battle because I had to connect with some of these guys who are executives, thought leaders, the people that wanted to sell this service to, this widget to, we'll just call it, without going into all the details. But it was an uphill battle. It was a challenge because these guys get called and emailed and bugged like crazy. So I soon realized if I was going to make any kind of mark in the industry, in the real estate industry, I had to think outside of the box to really connect with these guys, to really connect with real estate agents. And so out of that, we ended up developing a platform that worked extremely well, to where it went from me being like the ugly dude at prom trying to get the hottest girl to go with me to the football quarterback star that everybody wanted to hang out with within this industry, specifically REO in the foreclosure industry. And so here I'm pictured with a Bank of America VP, several CEOs and executives from different real estate companies, capital groups, and then Ivan Choi's on there. He is soon to be the president of AREA, which is the Asian Agent Association, a pretty powerful association in Washington and obviously nationwide. But I'm going to show you the principles that I utilize within the industry nationwide to connect with very influential people, and how you can utilize that same strategy, that same idea for your business, your loan officer business, locally in your towns with real estate agents. Or really, you can apply it with anybody that you want to do business with or get business from. So here's another picture with me and Josh Altman. Josh Altman is the star of $1 Million Listing. He spoke at one of my events. And there's a reason why I'm showing you these pictures, which I'll tell you about in a few minutes. But let's go ahead and jump into something very important. Here's your deal. You are not a donut delivery man or woman. You're not the bagel delivery man or woman, right? Who's been there? We've had to get up so daggone early. I know I've been there as a loan officer for several years. I would deliver the bagels. my go-to breakfast was Chick-fil-A biscuits. Early in the morning to those real estate meetings, to those realtors who didn't really care what I had to say. But here's the deal. That is not who you are. You can do it. Everybody loves donuts. I love donuts. I love some Chick-fil-A biscuits. But there's another way to get business and to connect with the hearts of these realtors. Now, here's what you are. You are extremely valuable, okay? Really, I mean, when you look at it, and you look at the part that you as a loan officer, a mortgage broker, a mortgage banker, however you identify yourself, you are a very important part of this economy, because without you, people couldn't get loans and couldn't buy houses, and you know the rest of the story, okay? So initially, I just want to work on a little bit of this mindset, because when you're dealing with real estate agents, and I have dealt with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, and I mean literally thousands of agents, speaking at conferences, consulting, business coaching, dealing with them. My two partners are real estate agents, so I'm literally with them every day, all day. You've got to change your mindset. You have to be confident in who you are, obviously with your knowledge. You are the expert in this business, not the real estate agent. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt that a real estate agent thinks they know more than you do about the loan business? I'm interested to hear what you. Okay. Yes.
Yep. Here they come. Absolutely. Most of the time. Oh yeah. I got 2 no's there though, but so far I'm at what? My 23rd yes.
Yeah, I'm thinking that was maybe some sarcastic notes. Okay. So they don't, right? They might know a few things. They might have heard. They might know what FHA stands for, right? But you are the experts. So I want you to start shifting your mind today. Okay, get that confidence. Realize that you are awesome and that you're a very important part of this process. The agents couldn't do it without you. Okay, so that's our mindset part. Now, ever felt like this when you've worked with an agent? Chad, have you ever felt like that? You're like, oh my God. I hate this lady. Holy smokes. We're blowing up the chat over here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm seeing the comments.
Yes, of course, daily. Okay. So let's see if we can change this. Let's see if we can turn the tables, so to speak, to where it is the other way around. Now, listen, it still might be a love-hate relationship, right? Because especially in the real estate industry, you know, there's always timelines and deadlines, and you know, personalities get involved, and so as much as we can, I want to see if we can change and shift this. But here's the deal: plain and simple, marketing to realtors sounds fantastic, but it can be a big pain in the butt, right? Especially if those realtors think that they are the baddest thing since sliced bread. Right? So I don't know if you have ever experienced that. You know, maybe your agents that you market to are a big pain in the butt. Maybe you deal with the coolest agents out there. But I know in my experience, before I got onto the real estate side of things, when I was a loan officer for several years, I've worked for Wachovia, Wells Fargo, several mortgage brokers. I mean, I've been knee-deep in this stuff. I know what it's like to cold call real estate agents. I know what it's like to cold call, you know, refi deals from sending out mailers. I mean, I've been there, and I know that a lot of times it can suck really, really bad.
Well, I'm seeing from the comments here, Chris, if you don't mind me jumping in here, I'm seeing from the comments that basically we have 2 camps here. We have those that you know, are running into, you know, a lot of that, you know, like you said, animosity between the realtors and the loan officers. And then we have those that seem to be, you know, working with some great and, you know, wonderful real estate agents, but, you know, the whole pain in the butt part comes from, you know, not knowing, you know, necessarily how to leverage that into even more relationships, you know, either be it a time problem or, you know, just, you know, bringing something of value to the table, or maybe the real estate offices have an in-house lender. I probably counted about 30 or 40 people who've already made that complaint in the comment box that, you know, it seems like everybody's, you know, using their in-house lenders or being pushed to use their in-house lender by the broker owner. So that seems to be, you know, what a lot of the loan officers are running into here today on today's call.
Right. So let's cover this. Let's show you some strategies where you can, again, we can change it to where instead of you going to the agent, right, those agents start coming to you, and they want to come to you, and they want to work with you because you have something that they want. That is the key. And I call it a leverage point. Okay, we're going to talk about several leverage points today. But you have to put yourself in a position where you have a lot of leverage. Okay, you got to have something there in your back pocket that you can really utilize to your advantage. But that's also valuable to those realtors, right? You want to always give value every place you can, not just in this, but in every point of, every area of your life. I know that for me, that's a motto that I live by. I try to give value to every situation that I'm in. And when you start having that mentality when dealing with real estate agents, for the most part, especially if they're halfway decent, then they will recognize that. So let's talk about one of the biggest mistakes loan officers make when marketing to realtors. One, treating all agents the same. So because agents are not carbon copies of each other, some are high producers, some are low producers, some are brand new, some are just average. So if you use the same techniques to market to a newbie agent as you do a top producer, a lot of times you will end up spinning your wheels and wasting a lot of effort, a lot of time. So you have to choose wisely the ones that you work with. Now, you should have received a worksheet. You should have received an email from me with a worksheet. And on that worksheet, I want you to write down there. And Chad, I don't know if you have the link. Maybe we can get the link to you guys if you don't have it. But I want you to write the top 3 agents in your market who you want to get business from or who you want to work with. Okay? And that's going to be important as we go through, and we want to know who we want to target throughout this process.
Yeah. And I just want to throw something in there real quick, guys. Just a really quick story about how I learned this the hard way, about the differences between the types of realtors, because it's easy to lump them all in the same category as, hey, a real estate agent is a real estate agent. But I'd worked months and months and months to get an appointment with a top producing agent right here in St. Louis. Now, this agent, when I say top producing, some of her better years, she did over $35 million. Okay, even on her worst years, still at least pulling down 15 to 20 million in closings. Now, that's a lot of business. Obviously, any loan officer would want that. After taking almost 5 to 6 months to get that appointment, I sat down with this agent and spent 10, 15, 20 minutes just rattling on about how I could help her with her marketing or capture more leads and whatnot. At the end of this session, when I stopped talking, she kind of looked at me funny and said, well, I don't want more business. I'm already doing X amount of dollars. What I want is, less time in the office, less stress in my life and blah, blah, blah. Right. Point being that I basically made the veritable fool of myself by assuming that I knew what she wanted and what she needed. The presentation I'd been using was working so darn well with all the other agents, but when I sat back and looked at it, all those other agents were kind of mid-level agents. They weren't already at the top looking down. They were at the middle of the ladder still looking up saying, hey, I want to be a top producer. So, you really have to sit down and start segmenting, what type of agent you want to get business from, and then modifying that presentation or modifying your approach based off of who it is you're targeting. Otherwise, you're making assumptions, and assumptions never work well at the end of the day when it comes to marketing to individuals who can make or break your career.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, any part of marketing, you can apply these things to so many parts of your business, but if you're marketing to somebody who is a top-level agent, you've got to talk to them differently. You've got to have a different strategy. You've got to really know them in and out, what their problems are, what their fears are, what their struggles are. And if you can approach those things and bring some kind of solution, as obviously you as a loan officer that you can, as much as you can, to those issues, you are creating that value proposition to them, and their business. Now, I just dropped that worksheet in the chat to the link. It's a Dropbox link, so hopefully all of you can access that if you don't have a firewall issue there. So let's talk about mistake number 2. Mistake number 2, like we just said, is feeling like you do have to market to anyone with a breath or pulse, which is a big mistake because, 60 to 70% of real estate agents close fewer than 5 transactions a year, right? So statistically speaking, most agents are not worth your time and your energy that you're spending on them, or the Chick-fil-A biscuits.
Yep. There you go.
Right? Or the donuts, okay? So again, you need to target the right folks and be very, very strategic in how you are approaching them, right? Now, mistake number 3, treating your marketing like a one-time event instead of a cycle. So here's the deal, and you've seen studies probably that it takes on average about 8 times, 7, 8 times. Some people even say, some studies even say up to 12 times connecting with a prospect, a customer, before they do business with you or before they buy your product. Now let's take the deal of throwing in a real estate agent, and their whole business could depend on you doing a great job, right? So that can completely change the elements. So you just bringing donuts or you just bringing the Chick-fil-A biscuits is not necessarily a great enough proposition for them to really trust you and say, oh yeah, hey, they brought me donuts and biscuits and, you know, bagels. I'm going to just put my business laid at their feet and yippee-ki-yay, this is going to be awesome. No, 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 absolutely not. You've got to build that trust, right? Because we do business with those we know, like, and trust, and it's the same idea when dealing with a real estate agent. You've got to have that place where you have established that foundation of trust, that you are the expert, that you know what you're doing. And here's another key, okay? You can write this down, that you don't need them, okay? You don't ever want to position yourself or show yourself that you are desperate for a real estate agent's business. Because at that point, they understand, and all real estate agents have the mindset of, or not all, but a lot of them have the mindset of, well, my loan officer is disposable. I can just go to somebody else down the street at Chase or Bank of America or such and such mortgage company, right? You are not desperate for their business. So again, another mindset change I know a lot of times is challenging because maybe you are desperate for their business, right? So some of the things that we're going to show you, we want to put you in the position where you are not desperate for anybody's business. I mean, imagine being at the place where you can generate your own leads at will, and anything from a real estate agent is just icing on the cake, or if you like cherries, on top of that cake. I know Chad does. He loves cherries. Big cherry fan, aren't you, Chad?
I'm a chocolate chip cookie guy.
All right. Well, yesterday was my birthday, and my wife made me this amazing chocolate peanut butter thing from heaven, this cake. So sorry you couldn't have any, Chad, but I thought I'd just throw a low blow there since you wouldn't give me any of your apple pie the other day.
Sorry about that.
But
can I throw something in on this slide here real quick? I'm not sure how many of you guys really watch or track the DMA, the Direct Marketing Association of North America, and the research and the surveys that they do at the end of each year. The one that's always blown me away, and I've been quoting this one for the better part of a year now, what they found here in the latter half of the 2000s decade is that statistically speaking now, your average consumer needs to hear from you a bare minimum of 5 to 12 times before they feel some sort of either name recognition or rapport or even a level of comfort that they can purchase something from you. And part of this stems from the fact that now the average consumer gets hit with over 2,000 advertising messages per day, and that's over 1 million a year, by the way, math. Okay, so that means we walk around with our filters on. We walk around with our filters on, filtering out most advertising. When it comes to marketing to realtors, because this survey, 5 to 12 times, that's just an average, retail, buying something off the shelf, buying something
right.
might cost $50, $100. Imagine how much more so that applies when we're talking about getting referrals from somebody who that's their paycheck. If that transaction doesn't close, or that's their reputation, if they don't know who you are yet, they don't really know anything about you or how good of a job you're going to do from them. There's a lot of concern. Just like you have a lot of concern, let's say, you have a new rep in a new company you're going to send your loan to. Do you just want to trust anybody that, faxes you over their latest rates and program sheets? No, we want to learn more about them first and, get a level of comfort. unfortunately, most loan officers tend to stop their marketing, and in fact, most salespeople stop after just 1 or 2 contacts. So they're not treating it like a cycle; they're treating it more like a 1 or 2 time event, and that really is eliminating most of the potential results that you could be getting right from the get-go just by our own lack of continuing beyond that 1 or 2 contact follow-up sequence.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing too, and when you can show yourself being consistent, consistently there, consistently in front of them, I know that was one way that I really cracked a lot of these cases to get business from agents, was being consistent. I mean, what's the old saying, right? The squeaky wheel gets the oil.
You got it.
Right? Obviously, you don't want to be squeaky and like a clanging cymbal, but continually being there, continually being in front of them. And I'm going to talk to you about some of the ways that you can do that without being annoying, because that's the last thing you want to do when dealing with a real estate agent. Is you don't want to be annoying. Okay, you want to give them crazy awesome value. Squeaky wheel gets the grease. I was corrected there, Chad.
There you go. There you go.
I've got a few people that say they can't hear clearly. If you can hear me still, okay, go ahead and type in a yes for me.
Yeah, I don't know if it was me they were saying that to on my end, or if that was on your end. Okay, everybody sees. I think it's good now. I think it was just a go-to webinar.
Okay.
We have a lot of people on here, and sometimes that screws the bandwidth. So.
Yeah.
But I can hear you fine. So.
Okay, it says that maybe it was a little bit of your audio there, Chad.
Okay.
Okay. So if this is resonating with you, go ahead and type in yes. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. If I need to go over anything else, listen, this is a workshop. I want this to be valuable for you guys. Okay, I want you to be able to take away some solid information and gold here today that you can implement right away in your business. Okay. Holy smokes. We got a ton of yeses. Okay. Awesome. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the deal. Why you need to be working with realtors. You hear the news, you see the news, you read the news, you see why you need to be working with realtors. You know that refis, it's getting tougher and tougher, right? Home purchases are going like crazy. Inventory is really hard to come by. I work and consult with several huge capital groups, hedge funds. These guys are out there buying tons and tons of properties, okay? So realtors are like, they are going after the purchase market. So they have a lot of opportunity in front of them, and if they have a lot of opportunity, that means that you have a lot of opportunity, right? So we can all agree that that is the case. So let me ask you a question. How have you positioned yourself to be the go-to loan officer in your market, in your city with the realtors? Go ahead and just type in there. Give me some ideas of what you've done. What have you done? Any ideas?
Looks like scheduled meetings, credit repair, co-sponsored joint marketing, weekly stop-bys and drop-offs, text messaging, call capture. Here someone says that they're positioning themselves as the FHA 203B and 203K expert. Facebook group, I've added 90 realtors and have a captive audience. Somebody said bringing donuts. Joe! Donuts. Weekly newsletter, analyzing economics, all customized, nothing canned. Technical expert, helping them with their blogs and Facebook marketing.
Nice.
Sitting at their open houses and referring potential clients. Martha is the USDA expert, offering to give second opinions and feedback based on their needs. These are coming over much faster than I can read them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's joint marketing, postcards, newsletters, open houses, rural housing expert. I sent the forget-me-not seeds. Let's see. I've underwritten 4 loans per day. Okay, so my values, I'm 4 years as an underwriter. Okay, so there you go. Justin is one heck of an expert. This person's bringing them buyers. So yeah, so some good things here.
Awesome.
I think we're about to open up with a couple ideas to maybe add to your repertoire here, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's what I'm thinking here, okay? One, you must position yourself as the trusted authority, right? when you see, look at a commercial and you see somebody's talking about medicine or some kind of new drug or whatever, you notice that they always wear a doctor's robe or whatever you call it, doctor's jacket with a stethoscope, right? Because we automatically assume, hey, they're wearing that jacket, they're wearing that tool, they must be a doctor, when in all reality, the majority of them are just actors. But why is that? It's a mental thing. It's a psychological thing. So we can utilize that same kind of idea, position ourselves, position you guys as loan officers as a trusted authority, that when somebody sees you, they say, oh yeah, Susie, she is the go-to loan officer in Atlanta. She's the go-to loan officer in St. Louis. She is the person to go to. So here's the other way. And Chad, if you want to jump in, again, don't hesitate to interrupt me. But number 2, be the guy or the gal who knows everybody. Okay, get people in your community talking about you. Okay, get them discussing about you, things about you and what you're going to do. And I'm going to show you how you can do that here in just a minute. Number 3, build an audience. This, again, is a huge leveraging tool. Imagine if you can build an audience of people that you have their ear, and that audience is somebody or a group of people that an agent needs, whether it is a buyer's audience, whether it is an audience of people who need to sell their home, whether it is an audience of hedge funds or capital groups or private equity funds, right? Think of how you can be a bridge from an agent. You can write down what's an agent's ideal target. What are they like? Man, if I can connect with that person, that's like Christmas morning. Start thinking that way, okay? How can you put them in front of their ideal group? How can you put them in front of their ideal audience? Now, what you want to do is you want to build that. You want to position yourself as a person who can do that. Now, that's what we did with essentially our company and our show. We created a web TV show to where I gave all the executives and all the people in my industry that I wanted to connect with, I gave them a platform. And it works like gangbusters. Instead of me getting hung up on and sending 2,500 emails to try to get a meeting or connect with somebody, it was the other way around. It completely changed the game. It changed my life. It changed our business to where we had influential people coming to us wanting to connect and want to see, hey, how can we work together? How can we, do ABCD together? How can I connect with you? How can, because here's the thing. I positioned myself as a person who gave them value, who gave them a platform, to where now they're like, man, Chris, you really helped us out here. This was awesome. You didn't ask for anything in return, but what can I do to help you out in your business, right? How would you like agents asking you how they can help you with your business? So you can use this same principle in your business. You can leverage the same principle of what we're talking about today in your business, to where those agents literally want to come and connect with you. They want to come and work with you. And you could be at the place where you can be selective of who you work with. How would you like to be in positions like that, right? Of course you would. Who wouldn't? So how do you become that authority? How do you become that person? Step 1, you must build a platform. You must build a platform. Please write this down. Now, we chose a web show. I am a big fan of video. Now, I know that maybe some of you are kind of cringing. Maybe you're getting cold sweats and your palms are starting to get a little clammy, okay? But don't worry. You do it a few times, you get used to it, and it's really, really easy to do a couple times out, even if you're not techie. I've trained people, agents, executives, all across the board, how to do video, even if you can't barely use your phone, literally. It's just gotten so easy to do it now to where you can literally do video within a few minutes, okay? Now, that was our chosen modality is what we call it, okay? Our modality of communication. Why? Because they can see my emotions. They can see and look in my eyes. right? And if I can get my face, my beautiful face, in front of them as much as possible by giving them value, right? Whether it's my audience, whether it's my prospects audience, whoever it is, and I can position myself as the trusted person because I'm coming to them and I'm saying, hey, these are your needs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here are solutions to those needs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Give them solutions to their problems, to their needs. Be the person on camera giving that value to them, and that, again, changes the game. So let's kind of see how we can apply this with real estate agents, okay? Let's say you live in a vacation community, and you have a lot of folks that come in from out of town. They love to buy homes there on the beach, vacation homes, okay? So they're going to be doing a lot of searches in your area about how to buy vacation homes in Miami, or how to buy a second home in Miami, or the best deals in Miami, right? So what if you, as an expert in the area, you actually did a series of videos. You wrote down the biggest problems that these folks buying vacation homes in Miami, the biggest problems that they have. You position yourself as the expert of how to buy the best condo in Miami, or how to get the best deal on a condo in Miami, or a house on the beach, right? You do a video series answering those questions. You put that video series there on your website, on your blog. Now, who else in your market's doing that, right? Especially video. Now, this can put you way ahead of the curve. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be production studio quality, so I don't want you to get nervous about that. You can literally use your iPhone, your Droid. You can record right from your YouTube account, okay? So I'm spending a little extra time on this because I know what video has done for our business, and it's been extremely powerful. I've literally created, I mean, it's kind of been weird to where I've gone to conferences, and because of our videos, going to conferences, people recognize me, and they come up to me and say, hey, Chris, you're the guy from that web show, the real estate show. Man, I love your stuff. You are awesome. You're the best. So you, as a loan officer, are doing the same thing to where real estate agents, consumers, hedge funds, whoever your market is, whoever you want to go after, they're seeing you over and over and over again. It goes back to our other point, the mistakes that loan officers make is, you know, getting in front of that realtor over and over again, right? So, very important. Another way is podcasts. Very easy to do. Blogs, radio shows. Build a platform where you talk about the issues, you talk about the problems, and how you, as the professional, as the expert in Miami, in Atlanta, in St. Louis, in Charlotte, you are the expert on how to solve those problems if you give that information. So as you're doing that, you're building fans, right? People are appreciating you, and now you have an audience that you have their ear, you have their trust and their respect. We're going to say something, Chad?
Yeah, I just want to throw something out there about a way that we kind of took we built our platform in a little bit of a different way that you guys can actually implement right away. Is we actually did ours with a newsletter, but with a twist. In our office, I had my guys put out a newsletter where every month we did what's called a spotlight on the realtors themselves. We did a realtor standout spotlight. And what this allowed us to do was to pick up the phone and target even the highest producing agents in the market would actually pick up the phone and talk to us, because now we were calling to kind of stroke their ego a little bit. You know, I would actually call up and say, hey, we spotlight a single real estate agent every single month. In this coming month, we would like you to be that agent, which means we just need to maybe 10, 15 minutes to ask you some questions. And we're going to publish you in our next newsletter. It's going to go out to X amount of people. And about 75 to 80% of the time, they're like, sure, when? You know, I can do that right now. Because, again, we're not calling them up and asking them, hey, you got a deal for me? Hey, do you have a referral for me? Instead, we're completely disrupting their pattern that they expect, because they have a certain expectation. When a loan officer they don't know calls them, what do they expect? Well, they expect you to offer to bring them out to lunch or ask for a meeting or something along those lines, ask for a loan. That's what they expect. We need to disrupt that pattern and approach them from an angle that they're not expecting. And this is an angle that's non-threatening. I'm not asking for a loan. I'm not asking for a referral. I'm not asking them to put their reputation on the line. We're just asking to sit down and interview them so that they can be spotlighted as the professional of the month, so to speak. And again, this opened a lot of doors, and we were able to segue that spotlight into other conversations. But this was
Yeah.
how we got our foot in the door, even with the agents doing 30, 40, 50 million or more a year. You're very, very rarely going to run across somebody that says no to that. Would you say no if somebody said, hey, you're doing such awesome things as a loan officer, I'd like to feature you in our publication? Are you going to be rude to them? Are you going to be ignorant? Are you going to be upset that they called you? No, most likely you're going to be intrigued and go and feel a little bit flattered. So that was our platform, that we were giving them a platform to be connected with other professionals in the St. Louis area, and also, be shown to, our entire database, because our newsletter goes out to, maybe it's not going out to 100,000 people, but it's at least going out to about 1,800 people, 2,000 people. So they're getting an audience. They're getting a, pat on the back. They're getting that little stroke to the ego. Very, very easy way to open doors. And if you guys are thinking, well, how long did it take you to put something like that together? Here's the thing. Is we did this as bare bones as possible when we first started. I mean, literally just popped open Microsoft Word and, just put a little border around it and, just a quick logo at the top and, some text, and that's about it. So it doesn't need to look real glossy and corporate. That's what we got started with. We eventually upgraded it over time, but this was something I put together in about 15 to 20 minutes the very first time I tried it out, and it just grew from there. So very simple way to build a platform and get the doors opened very, very rapidly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And the thing is, you don't have to be overwhelmed with this. It doesn't have to be something that, that it really just takes up a lot of your time or anything like that. You can literally implement this pretty quickly, with essentially the roadmap that we're giving you guys. So, and gals.
The thing is, if they have a blog, guys, if you guys even if you just have a blog right now, you could do pretty much the same thing I just described with the newsletter. You could accomplish pretty much the same thing with the blog. What if you feature a single agent on your blog once a month as a spotlight professional, or even as a audio interview or video interview? I mean, there's lots of ways you can get creative with it and give them, that recognition that they're looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. And just think about, too, again, going back to who your market is. Maybe you're really wanting to connect with home builders as well, because, I mean, these guys are starting to come out of the woodworks again because of the lack of inventory. All the inventory that's getting sold up by these big capital groups and hedge funds. There's a big opportunity for home builders. And what if you can position yourself as, the go-to person for the home builders that they want to work with? So, again, these home builders want to get the word out that they're building houses again. So what if you have a blog or you have a podcast or you have a web show that you're talking about, hey, we've got ABC Home Building Company. They are back with a vengeance. They are the #1 home builder in Atlanta. If you're looking at buying a home, you want to build your own home, these are the go-to guys, right? So you are elevating them in front of yourself. Again, giving them a platform. And so what you can do, let's say if you do a blog post, okay? Let's say if you do a video and you put it on your blog or however your medium is, then, as far as what you want to do on the side of promoting that is connect with your local news channel, your local reporters, especially, excuse me, if it has anything to do with the housing market. They want to hear about that and they want to report it. So what if you're able to take that content, right? You have your blog site, you have your web show, and I'm going to show you in a few minutes how you can get this platform for free, okay? Already essentially set up for you to just plug and play. But what if you get that featured on the news, right? And then you have calls to action there. Maybe the news or the local paper, whatever, they feature your story, your video, your interview on their channel or their Facebook, or you get other businesses to feature it, because you're talking about something really important in that community. Where home builders almost went non-existent for several years, right, with the recession and everything happening with the housing market. So now you get all this traffic to your site, and you're positioned as the go-to loan officer because they see you're the one talking about these things, right? Very, very powerful. And it's a strategy that we've utilized in our business. That's worked very well. So the other thing, step 2, is to borrow the authority. One of the reasons I wanted to show you pictures, and every opportunity I get when I meet anybody of influence, anybody that's recognized, I always try to get my picture with him, because just you being associated with influential people, the right people in your market, your city, there's automatically a transfer of authority. People say, "Oh man," so just think if you've seen, pictures of somebody taking a picture with the president, right? There's automatically the scene of like, wow, he met the president. How in the world did he do that, right? So this is something that we've utilized as well, and that I train realtors to do. Anytime that you can, connect with the influential people in your city. The mayor, city councilman, influential businessmen, local celebrities that people know. Get your pictures with them. Put it on your blog. Put it on your Facebook. So that way, when customers see it, consumers see it, prospects see it, realtors see it, they see, Billy James. Holy smokes, man! This loan officer is with everybody. They know everybody, right? So if they see you as somebody who's potentially influential, somebody who's potentially connected, right? They're going to be that more motivated to want to connect with you, because they think that, man, he might be somebody that I want to know, right? Somebody that looks like they're important because they're connected with all these different people in the city. So it's going to be another leveraging tool for you to connect with them. Chad, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think we're good.
Awesome. So let's talk about how, and this is, somebody hit on this a little bit earlier, but actually how you get agents begging to work with you, okay? You must control the power. Imagine if you could. Imagine if you can control the buyer leads. How powerful would that be? Just go ahead and type in here if you think that would be powerful. Let's go ahead and type in there. Imagine if you can control the buyer leads, right? Imagine if you could control the seller leads. How intense would that be? So one, obviously you have the platforms where you're talking about all the things and that are important in the community, and everybody in the community sees you as an expert, so they want to go to you automatically. So you control the funnel, the front end, right? So how do you do it? Well, build something that they want. You can become their superhero for these agents. You can gain even the most seasoned agents. You can gain their trust, because if they see you as an authority, again, it's different positioning. So for me being, the guy who just wanted the business of the CEO, I completely changed it from having that platform, being the guy who hosted the show, the guy who hosts the content, the guy who, this is a big key, hosted their competitors, right? Had their competitors on my show, talked about their business as well. Don't you think they want to connect with me and get their message out there as well? It's the same thing that you can utilize and use with agents. Write a list down of all the agents out there you want to work with and get their competitors connecting with you on your web show or your podcast or your blog. Okay? Now, let's talk about what keeps agents awake at night. Lack of listings. Right now, this is the biggest struggle that agents have. I mean, this literally keeps them awake. I mean, there's such a lack of inventory. These agents are starving for listings.
Yeah.
Right? So what if you
agree with that 100%?
Go ahead.
I know you probably talk to more realtors than I do, but just even the agents that I'm talking with on a weekly basis, that's what I keep hearing over and over again is the lack of listings, lack of listings, lack of listings. And if you guys want to see this firsthand, here's what I recommend you do. Head on over to activerain.com. If you don't have an account over there, it's like Facebook for realtors. Just start diving into the groups over there and see what the agents are talking about. And it's always, there's no problem with buyers right now. It's listings that they're having trouble finding. Or agentsonline.net. That's a huge message board for real estate agents. Just go over there and click on the marketing sub-forum and just start reading what they're complaining about, and it's almost exclusively about listings. Where are all the listings at right now? So this is not just a problem, but a big problem in that industry right now. That imagine if you could be the person providing a solution.
Yeah, somebody wrote, how can you gain and trust the confidence of a seasoned real estate agent if you're a new loan officer? Well, again, it's the same principle. I came into the real estate industry on the realtor side of things. Nobody knew who I was. Again, I was like the dude with pimples, trying to ask the prettiest girl out to prom, right? But I created a platform. I I created that value proposition that everybody wanted to connect with. I mean, I've had events and stuff where I've had executive CEOs from top banks speak at my events because they see, man, Chris has some value. He has some authority in this industry. People they know who he is because he does his show. He gives value. He's a marketing expert. So, there's that trust there, and it just makes the conversation a whole lot easier. So, a lot of questions that, we've asked here is, do you agree that that would work? Do you, if you had the business? And I've got some, of course, a huge yes, heck yeah, definitely, duh, absolutely, yes, sir. We got a Mr. Scott, we need more power.
Star Trek fan.
Hey, Chad, somebody said your audio's going out in and out a little bit.
Yeah, I got my audio turned up as much as possible. It's probably, again, it's just got to be the go-to webinar, just playing around with us again.
Yeah. So what if you could get them listings, right? Obviously, that would be awesome. Now, let me ask you another question, though, and we can talk about how to get listings. And we'll have some strategies later. But what if you didn't want to work with realtors? Again, what if you just wanted to generate all your own business and not have to work with realtors, right? That would be pretty cool. Now, let's see. Let me show you. If you wanted to go down that road, okay, let's just put realtors on pause just for a second, and you wanted to generate your own business where you never had to work with a realtor ever again. Obviously, you don't want to do that, but if you did, okay, let's talk about 4 critical things that you need. One, you need an audience that needs your service. So essentially, we just call that in nerdy internet terms as traffic, right? Number 2, a message that really connects with that audience, a way to get in front of them, whether it's maybe ads or blog posts or podcasts or web show, whatever it is. The bug light, so to speak, to get in front of that audience. Then you want to pull that audience to a high converting website or a landing page, a website that really connects your message to the problem or the fear or the issues that they're dealing with, right? Number 4, a reason for that audience to give you their info. Maybe you give them a promise of a report or a tool or a widget or some kind of counsel. Maybe you have a video series or something free that's valuable to them. This is a way that you can position yourself. If you can set these things up, you would never have to do business with a realtor again, unless you're just feeding them business, right? Unless they're on the back end and they're actually finding the house and you've already got the person in closing the deal. Now, here's the deal. One of my favorite sources to get consistent leads from, and this is you literally can have as many leads as you need. It's a few different sources we're going to talk about, but this one specifically I love because you can literally turn it off and on. Okay, and the platform that I love to use and has not failed me yet is Facebook. Facebook is an incredibly powerful tool, and here's the thing. Most loan officers, they have not figured out how to use Facebook. Now, this is kind of when we lean in. We don't want other people to hear, right? Because if you, right now as a loan officer, if you can figure out how to use Facebook to generate business before your competitors do, that puts you in a whole different ballgame, right? Because you're not the one out there chasing after this other business. If you have business coming in steadily, consistently, and it's there month in, month out, that changes the game, right? It's a whole nother deal. So let me just show you an example of an ad that I use on Facebook that has done very, very well. Okay, so this is an ad that I ran for buyer leads, and here's the deal. We're going to break this ad down real quick. So that I have my audience, obviously, is home buyers, and we don't really have time to go into the actual breakdown of the audience, okay? But I identified my audience as being home buyers. I understand, hey, they're interested in buying a home in Raleigh. So I asked them a question. Buying a home in Raleigh? Looking to buy a home in Raleigh? Save thousands, click here for a free search. So there's my value proposition, right? They click there, and basically it's a landing page that's converting very well. It takes them through the process of getting their name, phone number, email address, and I literally can turn this on. Now, generally more so I generate leads for realtors, but either one applies. Someone who needs to buy a house and get a loan, right? But I can literally go in here, turn it back on and off, and generate leads. So let me show that to you. So here's just a quick snapshot of this one specific campaign. And this has mostly just been a test campaign, but we do have a real estate agent in Raleigh that is a part of our company. And we'll go in here and just turn it on whenever we need some leads. So from this campaign, what you see here, what's today? Today's the 25th. So I think this was Monday. I came in here, turned it on for a few hours, and I generated several leads. Name, phone number, email address. How powerful would that be in your business? If that would be powerful, just say yes. If you can, I mean literally, if you can go in and just turn it on, just like a faucet, right, and generate business. Okay, you guys, I got a hell yes. All right.
Well, hey,
yes, sir. Amen.
Can you flip back to the picture of the ad one more time?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to point out a couple things here, guys, because I use Facebook ads for my business. Just this past week alone, I've generated over 150 leads just off of Facebook, and I spent negligible, I mean literally negligible, about 1/10 of the cost that I would have spent if I had run these as Google AdWords. But there's a couple subtle things going on here in the ad that I just wanted to point out. Guys, if you look at the ad, what happens when you see an ad on Facebook? Do you stop and read the whole thing carefully, or do you just glance at it and scan it? Well, you tend to just glance at it and scan it. And I see some subtle things going on here. The word buy, first of all, being all caps, the word Raleigh being all caps, and then free being all caps. So what that means is that if you're in the typical Facebook mindset, which is you're on Facebook to have fun, not to go house shopping, right? So that means that somebody has to get, if you want to get somebody, a home buyer or seller's attention very quickly, you need some keywords to pop out in their brain when they're just scanning that page of Facebook for people to talk to, or pictures to look at, or videos to watch. And when I see buy Raleigh, if I happen to live in Raleigh, that automatically grabs my attention. And the word free, very few words in the English language carry the punch and power as free does. We know that free works. So those 3 words being all caps and standing out, that if I just scan this in like a split second, it's going to make me stop and freeze a little bit to read it a little bit more carefully, because you've at least got my attention. Now, whether I click or not, is now the second part of the equation. But that first part of the equation, getting them to stop and actually look at it, you can see the psychology behind why this ad works so darn well.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't want to put anything out there that says to do this right, that it's not hard work. I've spent a crazy amount of time, long nights, my wife yelling at me saying, Chris, why are you still on the computer? It's 1:30 in the morning, trying to figure this stuff out. But here's the thing. Once you do figure it out, holy smokes, just like Chad said, he can go in there and generate tons of leads every single month. And I'm a big fan of paid traffic. Okay, and this webinar is not about paid traffic, but this is just some extra bonus here, because I know that you guys need leads, and you can do them and get leads today with paid traffic. I used to be freaked out about paid traffic. I didn't know how to do it, what kind of website to set up, all that kind of stuff. But we've had breakthrough, and we figured out how to do it. And if you can figure out how to do it, you're going to blow your competition out of the freaking water, okay? Because they don't know how to do it. They haven't paid their dues to figure it out. But what if you had a shortcut, right? What if you had the landing page that was already a landing page that was already working, right? What if you had somebody that kind of coached you along, right? You think that would be powerful to get a head start? Now somebody asks, like, how much does it cost? Well, you can spend a lot of money if you do it the wrong way. But for these leads that we generated here, I think that we spent about $30 total, right?
Right. Right.
Now, what's happened is some of this has become organic, because here's the cool thing, especially with Facebook, is you get something out there. Let's say Bill, he sees your ad, he clicks on it. He's going to be likely to share that because he might know Susie's, who he had a conversation with at the water cooler earlier in the day at work. So he might tag Susie in it. So some of these ads are organic. They're not all paid. But we're not advertising any other way outside of Facebook. Okay? So, you get the momentum going, and it can become a powerful lead engine, which is what you want. You want something that's working for you while you sleep, right? Imagine if you could go in, in the evening, and actually one of the first time I turned this on was a Friday night. You think people be out eating out and having fun or whatever. I got a bunch of leads the first time. So whatever if you need them, you just go in, you turn them on, in the evening, and you have leads when you wake up, right?
Well,
so that's the kind of, yeah.
I see a lot of people asking about the costs of the ads, and what do you spend? I mean, do you want me to show my Facebook page? I'll show them my back end of my Facebook dashboard. Does anybody want to see my Facebook dashboard and see what?
Let's see if they want to see it. Let's see if.
I'll show you guys, and I'll show you what I got off of this here. Let's see.
Okay, we got a ton of yeses. Please.
Okay, I'll show you guys real time so you know that this isn't. I know how easy it is to.
We got a we.
There we go.
That must be a Canadian.
All right, so shoot me over the controls real quick, and I'll log in, and I'll actually show you guys my back end and what I'm doing here right now, so you see it live. Just let me know when the controls have been shot over to me. Okay, here it comes. All right, show my screen. Okay, here we go. So you guys see I'm on my Facebook page right now. Everybody see my screen? You see it, Chris?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click over here on ads. It's going to show my ads. So you see this is me, Chad Weber. All right, we're looking at active ads right now, post engagement. And here we go. Now, you see I've spent a total of $31.86, okay? Originally, when I started my campaign, I was spending, they were charging me 73 cents per click. Right now, I got it down to 12 cents per click. I have 259 page engagements. Now, here's the thing, is I'm advertising a webinar for these ads. So for $36, or I'm sorry, $31.86 right here, I basically have plowed about 85 individuals into a webinar for $31. Now imagine, now you might be saying, well, this is, maybe it's a different niche or whatever the case may be, and that's all true. But here's the thing, guys, is the exact same techniques are used across all the industries. Okay? It doesn't matter whether I'm marketing to realtors. It doesn't matter whether I'm marketing to loan officers. It doesn't matter if I'm marketing to home buyers. And I just sent the controls back over to you, Chris. Okay. A webinar is a webinar. If I can get them on a webinar, I can sell. So if it's home buyers, first-time home buyers, and I want to talk to them about the top 5 mistakes that new home buyers make, then I'm going to put them on a webinar, or I'm going to send them to a video. If I can get them to watch or download or look at something, then I can sell to them. And that's the concepts that a lot of people miss when it comes to Facebook ads, is they're approaching it the wrong way. And as you can see, just how cheaply, $31 to get the attention of 85 individuals who ended up clicking and hopping onto my webinar, that's ultra, ultra powerful. What would you do to get 85 home buyers in a room? Would you spend $31? So that's the power of paid advertising. So I just thought you guys might like to see a live case study, because so many people talk about it but never show their results.
Yeah, so here's the thing. What if, so you got this. Okay, let's just kind of throw a little bit of bonus material here. You guys have a little bit of time? We'll go ahead and send you the recording if you have to go, but we're going to throw in something that I wasn't planning on doing this. But what if you could go this route, okay? You've got Facebook. Whether you've got ads that you're running, which you can do and get results quickly. That's the quickest way you're going to get results is by paid advertising. Now the hard part comes is can you get deals closed, right? We all want to know that question. Well, it's all a numbers game. It's all based on how good you are, right, with getting the deal closed and making the sale. You can get leads, you can get high-quality leads, okay? So you've got to play the numbers for you and, work it out for yourself. But, we can show you how to actually do it. So let's kind of talk about this strategy. How awesome would this be, right? You go to Realtor Bob, Susie, and John, and maybe they're different niche realtors in that area. Maybe one's a luxury, maybe one's an REO, maybe one's a second home realtor. That's what they specialize in. So what if you ran ads on Facebook to a webinar specifically for their audience? And what if you go to Realtor Bob and you say, hey Bob, I'm doing a webinar for people who are interested in buying a luxury property or a vacation home. And I know, Bob, that you are the go-to agent in Charlotte. And I'm just wondering, Bob, what would you think about doing a webinar together? Will you come on, because you're an expert, you know how the whole process works on the buy side, right? So what if I talk about the loan structure, and we really give some value to these prospects who are interested in buying a second home, right? Now, what if you know that a lot of your audience are from the north? Maybe they come from New York, okay? They buy vacation homes in Miami or Myrtle Beach or wherever. You can run targeted ads to New York, to a certain income, right? Maybe they make, they already have a $500,000, $700,000 house in New York, and maybe they're interested in travel. So that they're somebody who's got some money, right? And you run webinars to them, say, hey, interested in buying a vacation home in Miami? So you get Bob on the webinar. He's the co-host with you, and you talk about the process of how to buy that home. You sell those people on the webinar. How amazing would that be? How beneficial? How would it completely change the dynamic of the relationship? I don't care if you're looking to get in with a realtor, or maybe if you've worked with somebody for a while. If you can bring that to the table, that will completely change the game, okay? If you can bring the audience to them live. So the thing is, obviously you have to figure out how to run these ads, right? Well, we do them, and they work. A lot of people do them, and they work. But here's the thing: a lot of loan officers aren't doing them, and not many real estate agents are doing them. So again, how much do you make on an average deal? $1,500, $2,000, $2,500, $3,000. So what you do right out the gate, maybe you cover the cost to get some people on a webinar. Okay, you pay for it. Even if you close one deal, maybe you spend $100 to get 100 people on a webinar, or 200, or even $500. You think you can close one person to buy a home out of that? How does that ROI look for you, right? Am I on track here? Would you guys think this is awesome?
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
Awesome.
Definitely.
And I'd like to show them some free, because I see some people asking, well, are there any free methods to get agents, and to get appointments with agents and get them to send you business? If you don't mind, Chris, after you show what we're about to show here in a moment, I would like to, for those who stick around, I'll walk you guys through a plan that you can implement literally right now. I mean, even while you're on the webinar, I'll show you guys a way, almost guaranteed, to go and open up a Harmon Homes magazine and find any agent, or go to Realtor.com and find any agent and get them to call you back and want to talk to you. I'll show them that method here once we're done presenting.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and we'll finish this up, and then we'll answer all the questions at the end, because we've got something pretty awesome for you guys.
Yeah, I can't wait to show you guys this. And you can implement within 5 minutes of me showing you how to do it. It's that easy. And it works about 80-90% of the time.
So just to answer these questions real quick. If you want more leads, yes. You want more referrals from top agents, yes. You want to increase your income, yes, of course. You want agents bringing you donuts, yes, right? Well, we've got something really, really special and cool that we're doing. This is kind of like our special announcement here at the part of the webinar. We are going to do what we call the Loan Officer Lead Summit on July 30th, this coming Tuesday. So this is going to be an all-day intensive. It's an all-day intensive training online, which means you do not have to travel. You will see it right from your computer. You log in right from your computer. Most of the sessions will be video. You'll see the speaker. You'll see me. You'll see the presentations going through several different strategies on how to essentially generate leads. Okay, again, you do not have to travel anywhere. You can watch it right from your computer, whether you're a Mac user or a PC user. Now, here's the deal. Because Chad talks to a lot of loan officers, you know, I talk with a lot of realtors and I talk to loan officers, and I know that the biggest struggle is generating leads. And not just generating leads, but generating leads consistently. You know, talking to Frank Garay, and I asked him, I said, Frank, what's the biggest problem you see that loan officers have right now? Chris, it's generating leads. Not just generating leads, but quality leads that they can count on, right? So here's what we've done. I said, Frank, I want to do an event for loan officers. And I talked to Chad about it as well. And we said, you know what, let's just come up with a solution, a way that we can pull in a lot of awesome speakers to hit on different strategies that loan officers can utilize, start using right out of the box. So here's what we've done. We've put together this online summit to where you literally can just log in right from your computer and tune in. So here are some of the things that we're going to cover. Okay, Chad's going to teach on how to leverage Craigslist to generate 75 to 100 leads at will every single week.
Yeah, baby.
Frank is going to talk about how to generate 52 deals a year without realtors or without paid ads. And he showed me some of the stuff he's going to go over, and it's pretty awesome. I was really excited about it.
This is the Frank Garay you guys all know and love from National Real Estate Post, just so you know.
Yeah. The bearded beauty is what I like to call him.
There you go. Thank Rob.
The crazy maniac.
Yeah, Frank's awesome.
So we've got some awesome things here. We're going to show you 9 proven strategies to getting in with top producing agent. That's going to be a session that Doran Aldana does. We're going to talk about generating refinance and buyer leads at will, and also how to get hot, ready organic leads from Google. That's free leads from Google or organic.
So the theme,
and then,
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that the theme here, guys, is that we're covering whether you're looking for free traffic. If you're brand new and you really don't have the cash to spend on paid advertising, you can see we got you covered. Or if you're at that stage where you say, hey, if I know I can throw $100 at ads and get, you know, X amount of closings in return, you know, so I'm going to do it, then we got you covered there as well. So whether it's free business you're after or instant push button traffic and business you're after, it's all going to be covered.
Yeah. And then here's the second part of it. You know, we talk about the nightmare thing that keeps agents awake at night is getting listings, right? What we're going to do the second part of the day is we're going to show you 3 strategies on how to get listings. Now here's the deal. 1, you can learn these strategies. You can learn some tips. You can call those agents up and say, hey, I've got an awesome strategy on how to get listings. You can implement this right into your business as Agent Bill, Susie, John, okay? So that's going to be the second part of the day, where you can actually, well, let me just show you this. Okay, so here's our speakers right here for the first part of the day. We got Frank there with his dinosaur and Chad, nice and cute, his little G.I. Joe outfit. So here's what we got. Now, don't pay me back on that Chad.
Yeah, that was Marine Week in St. Louis, by the way. So that's a flak jacket and helmet.
So the first 100 loan officers that register, here's what you're going to get. 1, you're going to get the first bonus is going to be you can actually bring a real estate partner to the second part of the day. Okay, so you can call them up and say, hey Bob, you know, this awesome event. These guys are talking about how to get listings, which I know that's a big struggle right now for a lot of agents. I can bring one person, and I chose you. Okay, and these are from some really solid real estate trainers that I know and respect. So, and 2 of them actually my partners, Josh and John, very successful agents. Number 2 is you're going to get a Craigslist marketing kit. Okay, this kit has banners, images, ebook. I mean, all kinds of everything you need to be really successful at marketing with Craigslist to go along with Chad's session. Okay. Number 3, I'm going to give you a web TV show website. I mean, this is like extremely valuable because, again, you'd have to go out there and hire a web designer and go through all that stuff. I'm going to give it to you. You can start using right away, implement it into your business. I mean, there's no strings attached. I'm just going to give it to you. Number 4 is you might say, well, Chris, I can't make it on Tuesday. I already have a closing scheduled or whatever. here's the deal. I understand that, and I want you to be able to go through these sessions over and over. So we're going to give you access to all the sessions after the event, okay? The other thing is we're going to rebroadcast the event the following Tuesday, which I think is August 6th. So if you can't make it all day Tuesday, this coming 30th of July, you can definitely recapture that information in those sessions again. So here's what we have. I don't want there to be any excuse, because I feel like we've put together an awesome lineup of speakers and sessions, okay? And I really want to get as many of you guys and gals there as possible. So what we're going to do is, you know, if you were to travel to an event, you would spend $2,000 to $3,000 easily. You wouldn't get recordings. You wouldn't get all the bonuses that were thrown at you guys. And I know, because I've traveled a lot. So, but you're not going to pay no stinking $2,000 or even $1,000 or even $500. Okay, what we want to do is we want to do this, you know, a special price. The price is going to be $297. But here's the deal: for the first 100 loan officers who register, you guys can actually get into the events for $5. $5 gets you into the event, because maybe you've never attended an event like this before, which I completely understand. So, you know, you're just not sure. So $5 gets you into the event, and what will happen is, after the event, the remaining balance will be charged to your car. So here's what we're doing here. I'm taking on all the risk. I'm saying, hey, come in, watch all the sessions for $5, bring your realtor for $5, and then I want you to be completely satisfied. If for some reason you're not satisfied, you know, which I don't think you will be. I mean, I think you will be completely satisfied. I don't think you'll be disappointed. But if you aren't, then you request, you know, say, hey, Chris, send us an email, call us, say, listen, it's just not what I thought it was going to be. Please don't charge me the remaining balance the day after the event. Okay? So we just dropped a link. What I want you to do is go ahead and reserve your spot. Save your spot. We want you there on the 30th. Here is the page. Now, we're only doing the first 100 spots to get the $5 deal and the bonuses. We've got 52 spots left, okay? So again, July 30th. If you can't attend on the 30th, we're going to rebroadcast on the 6th, but again, you'll get all the recordings. So here's some information. We've got speakers, a schedule on here. I've got Josh Shanley, who is coming from Reticulous. This guy is a superstar. These are my two partners, Josh and John, very successful agents. And then I've got my friend Darren Bloomquist. Have you guys ever heard of Realty Track? Realty Track is the premier company about foreclosure trends, purchase trends, housing trends in the country. He's going to be talking about how you can leverage foreclosure trends to get more listings, especially REO listings. Okay, Chad, you want to jump in here? Anything you want to say?
Well, I mean, I'm actually going to start. I'm actually going to start showing you guys some strategies here in just about 5 minutes. So, but I do see some individuals saying the website's not showing. Yeah, for those of you that are saying it's two S's after the leads. So it's loan officer leads. That's a S for the word lead, and then an S for the word summit. That's what I see missing for those of you saying that you're not seeing the website. So, so there you go. Perfect.
Now, here's the thing. There's a lot of people on this webinar who are probably going to be registering. So, you know, it might take a few minutes for you to get through, but go ahead and reserve your spot, $5. The remaining balance will be charged after. The schedule is, it starts at 10 a.m. Eastern. Frank is first up to bat, then Chad, and then the rest of the guys here, okay? Now, this is going to be a full content event. When I go to a speaker for the events that I do, I mean, I've had, you know, really solid people at my events. The thing that I require is that they give solid, valuable information. They give you the whole picture. You know, I don't want them leaving anything out to where you have to buy a product, okay?
Right.
So that's very, very important, because I want you guys to be able to take away right away from the event to where you can start implementing these strategies.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Guys, you guys know how I work. If you've been on my webinars before, I over deliver is what I like to do, because this stuff to me this is what I live for. Marketing, lead generation. This is actually fun to me. I'm a weirdo. On Friday nights and Saturday nights, other people like to go out. I like to sit at home and strategize and actually take action, because to me it's actually like a game. It's fun. So I enjoy the heck out of giving you guys these strategies, and that's basically what I intend to do for my segment. I'll be talking about Craigslist, and I'll actually show you guys here some of the strategies and some of the tools that come with the bonus. Everything that I show you, we're going to send to you in a bonus kit as well. So when we talk about Craigslist ads, doing them the right way, image ads and niche-specific image ads, I'm actually going to give you those ads to use. You don't have to go out and pay a graphic designer to go make them. I'm going to give them to you. The same thing with when we talk about landing pages and those types of tools. Headlines and subject lines. How do you get people to click? How do you get people to want to do a loan with you? We're going to give that all of that to you, so that way you guys can go out and take action immediately.
Yeah, and okay, you guys, I'm getting blown up here with people trying to check out, and I want to get to the bonuses, Chad, because I forgot to mention the Facebook part. For the first 10 who register, Chad and I are going to do 2 strategy mastermind calls about Facebook. Okay, about how you can implement Facebook and get you going. The other thing, the other piece of the pie, the other piece of the puzzle is I'm actually going to give you that Facebook landing page that I use for buyer leads. I'm going to give it to you, that website that I use. Now, here's the thing. I'm not going to show it to you right now because, I mean, that's our bread and butter, okay? So I'm not going to give that away. There's got to be some value exchange here. So, Chad, the first 10, right, is what we said.
Right.
Would get that bonus. Now, anything else that you can throw out there as a bonus for the first 10?
Well, one of the things you guys have probably, if you're on my email list, you've probably seen that I just recently launched Mortgage Marketing Hacks. That's mortgagemarketinghacks.com. It's a monthly service, but basically each week I send you a new marketing hack, and I mean hack not as in a hacker, somebody that's breaking into your computer, but hack as in shortcut. It's a shortcut to a desired end result. That's what a hack is. So Mortgage Marketing Hacks, each week you start off your week with a new video that's about between 10 and 15 minutes. Very short, because I know you guys are busy. There's nothing complicated or overly technical. They're meant to be super short, but quick and effective and proven effective strategies that you can implement to start each week off on the right foot. And I send you a new one every single week. So you guys are going to get the next 4 marketing hacks completely free. So I'll send you guys a link. You can register and get a full month of marketing hacks. And these things are actually going to blow your mind at how effective and how quick to implement they are. So, because I know oftentimes you're learning this new career-changing stuff, and that can take up a lot of your time. Well, these are just short, quick, and simple things you can implement right now and see results immediately. So I'll throw that in for the...
Yeah, and I know some of you guys are still trying to buy, but we do have a lot of people buying, and I think that bonus is almost gone. I've got Tim, Michael, Demarius, James, Bradley, Deborah, Joshua, I guess. Maybe, yeah, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it.
Well, how about this? Then I'll go ahead and anybody that buys today, I'll extend my bonus of the marketing hacks, mortgage marketing hacks. If you buy before end of business today, I'll still give you access to the marketing hacks as a bonus. How about that?
That's awesome, man. So we got Pete, Mindy, Michael, Bob D, Tom B, John S, Ronald D, Brad Y, Charles C, Liliette U. Obviously, I want to keep your names private. I don't want to say your whole name, but these things are going pretty quick. So somebody asked about, will you go over integrating your systems with things I already have in place, i.e. website, Facebook, Twitter, et cetera, et cetera? Absolutely. Listen, a lot of you guys all know who I am at this point, and when we get in, especially Chad and I love this stuff. I mean, we sleep, eat, breathe, marketing, figuring it out. Excuse me. So when we get into these mastermind calls, then yes, we'll talk about all that stuff, okay? I mean, it's all going to be about how do we get you more business, okay? Obviously, we'll talk about Facebook and that whole deal, right? But, and I have a tendency to go overboard and just end up doing more than what we said. But
well, how about this then, Chris? If they're still on the fence, if there's anybody, just say yes if you're still on the fence, or you think it looks good, but you haven't quite bought yet. Just put a yes in the box. How about if I show them an example of the types of marketing strategies that they're going to be learning, and I'll actually teach them one that I was going to teach on Tuesday, but I'll go ahead and teach it to them right now, just because it's so quick and so powerful that they're gonna want to jump on board immediately once they see this. How about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
That? Okay, so he's going to need to pass over control to me here in just a second. Let me get my screen ready. Give me just a second, guys. I'm going to open up. I'm going to show you guys something just ultra cool here. And here's the deal. I'm going to make a deal with you guys. I'm only going to show this to you if you actually implement it, all right, today, because it's so simple. There's no excuse in the world not to implement this.
Let me just, as you're doing that, Chad, I pass over controls. I still have a lot of people trying to get in. Don't worry, if you did take action, fast action, I'm going to make sure you get the bonuses, okay? Let me just drop my email. If you have any issues checking out, because we do have a bunch of people, it looks like, that are still trying to register. Let me just drop my email in here really quick and send it to all of you guys and gals.
All right, now are you ready for me to grab the screen?
Yeah, go ahead and take it away.
All right.
We did have somebody say, how does your system relate to Canada?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, this works everywhere. This literally works everywhere. All right, I have probably about 60, 70 individuals in my marketing lab that are from Canada using a lot of what we're teaching. So let me grab control here. Okay, guys, I am logged into YouTube right now. Okay, this is my YouTube, and let me give you guys just kind of the background as to how I use this strategy. Okay, now imagine the scenario that you have a real estate agent that you really want to do business with. Okay, so I want you guys to close your eyes and imagine a couple of real estate agents that you really know that they would do wonderful things for your business if you could just become their go-to loan officer, but you're not sure how to get them to give you the time of day. Or maybe you're a newbie loan officer and you don't really know what you bring to the table that's valuable to get a high producer to work with you. Guys, I dealt with the same problem when I was a new loan officer. Not just because I was a new loan officer, but I looked like I was 15 years old. And in fact, I used to make cracks. Most agents would say, hey, when they would see me, because I was 21 when I first became a loan officer, and I looked like I was 15. And they would say, wow, I think I have a grandchild older than you, or I think my nephew's older than you. I mean, talk about sucking all the wind out of your sails. So that really beat me down early on in my career. It's like, well, how the heck am I going to get them to take me serious? Well, here's an example of a strategy that will get their attention, I promise. The first thing that you do is you come to YouTube, and you're going to click on this upload button right here. You see this upload button, guys? Now I want you to scroll down to this section here that says Photo Slideshow and the Create button. And let me show you what we're going to create. I bet you didn't know. Maybe some of you did, but I bet most of you didn't realize that you could actually create a full-blown video within YouTube's control panel itself. Watch this, guys. I'm going to turn the audio down, but watch this. Okay, so I'm just going to pause right there for a second. Basically what I'm doing is I took my entire presentation of bringing a value-added service to the table, and I created a slideshow video out of it using this agent's very own listings. I went to Realtor.com. I found an agent that had a bunch of listings. I saved the pictures to the listing itself, inserted them into YouTube, and added this text. So as she watches, it's going to get her attention, I guarantee you, because if you go to YouTube, let's say you logged into YouTube and you saw a video that said, hello, Chad Weber, I made this video for you. If your name's Chad Weber, you're going to click on that video, I guarantee you. But let's just keep watching. I'm just pausing it because I know how choppy it can be on GoToWebinar. Just making sure you guys are seeing what's happening here.
Yeah.
GoToWebinar is really choppy. So here's my call to action. I'm letting the agent know there's no strings attached, almost, except for this one little thing. All I ask is to be the recommended lender when leads come in from the highly visible videos that I post. Let's keep watching. So now, just my little attempt at humor, you got to admit this video is a pretty cool idea, right? I'll show you more, but first we need to chat. Here's my phone number. Now you can put your phone number, your email, or a web address, whatever you want. All right, now what happens if I scroll down and look beneath this video is, well, I'm actually logged into the editing portion of it, so let me click on the actual video itself. Okay. Now watch what happens. See the About section? Right here I have a personal message with clickable links to Tracy, to the real estate agent, where I let her know, please click here. Now this is just dummy text because I wanted to show this to you guys. Here are some of your listings. I made these into a video slideshow. I can do this for you on all of your listings. All I ask is to be the recommended lender when your buyers call in from the videos I make. I thought sending you a customized YouTube video would be a unique way to say hello. I hope I didn't startle you too much. Haha. I handle all of the SEO and video creation and tweaking to make sure that the videos get seen. With most properties, I am able to get 3 to 4 times more views per video than most real estate agents. It's kind of my specialty, if you will. And then I just go on with my final call to action about how I can do this for her. Now, my question to you guys is, what if? What if you knew the strategies to make YouTube videos get triple or quadruple the amount of clicks as regular videos? What if? Now your regular real estate video might get 20, 30, 40 videos a month, or 20, 30, 40 views a month. What if you could get 100 or 200 views per month per listing? And these listings, these videos sit out there forever, guys, until you decide to turn them off. It's free. And this video, guys, using this upload feature, took me all of about 4 minutes to create. I click the create button right here. It asks me, do I want to upload my photos? I click yes. I would like to upload photos from my computer. So let me go ahead and upload. There we go. So I click on, I have a real estate folder, and I just click on the pictures that I want. But let's just say I just double click on it. It uploads it. There we go. So now if I want to add more photos, I can. But again, I'm just showing you guys a single photo. I would click next. And now I can add background music, can be chosen right here from the YouTube admin panel. Check that out, guys. I can actually choose the background music. There's 150,000 legal to use backtrack music selections here right within YouTube. I can control how long each slide is shown, anywhere from just 1 second up to 10 seconds, or just have it automatically fit to the music. I can pan and zoom, or remove the pan and zoom and make them static images. I can add transitions such as crosses and phases and puzzles and screen wipes, vertical blinds, all sorts of different special effects. And once I'm done making my selections, I click the upload button. If I want to add background text and clickable buttons, I can add it by clicking the advanced editor. And here on the advanced editor, now I can turn these things into some really cool looking videos. Here I can add text, or I can add more photos, or special effects. Zooming, sliding, centering, and fading. All of that right within YouTube. Again, it took me 4 minutes to make that video. So I challenge you guys, send that video to 4 or 5 agents. Make a video just like this and send it to 4 or 5 agents and tell me that they won't get back in touch with you. I've already done this challenge with loan officer after loan officer, and every single time they get back to me and go, holy cow, I got 3 appointments next week. You're darn right you do, because it brings value to the table. It doesn't matter if you're a brand new loan officer. These are business people first, realtors second. They care about the bottom line. They care about, hey, can Mr. Chad Weber earn me more money? Because I guarantee you, if you can, they don't care that you've only been a loan officer for a year or 2, just so long as you can actually get the deals done. See, most, I'm sorry, go ahead, Chris.
No, and I was just going to say, and that's the thing, you know, some people say, well, you know, my broker has this guy in my office. Well, if that loan officer's not making that agent money, you know, if they can't generate leads and you can, it doesn't matter, right? Because you're actually affecting their wallet for the positive.
Right. hey, let me throw this out there because I see some questions. People saying, hey, I'm not too techie. I'm not sure I can do that. Watch. All you need is a Gmail account. You can log into YouTube because YouTube, Gmail, and Google Plus are all connected now, guys. So just if you don't have a YouTube account, it takes 20 seconds to set one up. Just go to Google and type out Gmail and set up your Gmail account, and you'll have all of them set up. Or just go straight to YouTube and click to start an account. It's free and takes 10 seconds to set up. They just want your name and email and what you want your username to be. But once you've done that, all I did was I logged in and I clicked the upload button. And then I clicked the create a photo slideshow right here. That's it. Now all you do is just follow the instructions. Do you want to upload a photo, or do you already have photos here that you want to use? I've already used some photos, so if I want to just click on them, I just click on them, and it adds it to the slideshow. And I'll show you guys this in even more detail and show you how to get these to the realtors. But I do see some of you guys saying, well, will these be blocked by the companies the realtors work for? No, they won't, guys. I've been having loan officers use this strategy and similar strategies for over a year now. And what I can tell you is that when you need appointments and you need a realtor to actually pick up the phone or email you or contact you or get back in touch with you, this is how to do it. It definitely works. And they're usually not blocked from internet access at their office because think about it. Realtors do almost all of their origination online these days. They got a blog. They got to upload to Craigslist. They got to upload to Realtor.com. They have a website with their, whatever company's offering, is company done for you websites being provided. They have to do all of those things. So they do have internet access. And worst case scenario, and I mean, if you don't believe that, just go to Active Rain and see how many realtors are tooling around on Active Rain throughout the day.
Yeah, let's just answer a few questions, Chad.
Yeah.
There's probably a few of you on here who still have not reserved your spot, and I'm just curious why you haven't. So just if you still have any concerns or questions, go ahead and type them in there. There was a question I saw about the bonuses. The bonuses after your second your payment goes through the day after the event, we'll send out information on how to get all the bonuses, the calls, the websites, everything. Will be sent out to you guys. We'll also have the schedule for those mastermind calls as well, where we'll talk about Facebook. I mean, listen, it's not just, like I said before, it's not just Facebook. It's diving into your business, and we'll have everybody on there, and we'll talk about maybe there's a loan officer who's already had some experience with something, and they can give you some coaching as well on that call. So it's going to be, I think, to me, maybe one of the most valuable parts of the whole deal. And yeah, so this event, everything that we're talking about, you're going to have a blueprint on how to actually apply this stuff into your business. And I mean, we're giving you the Craigslist package. Go ahead and pull that up real quick, Chad. Let's just show them some of the things they're getting.
Oh, sure.
With Craigslist.
Yeah, I'll do that. And then also I see some of you guys saying, well, how do I add text to the videos? I'll show that here in just a moment too. But ultimately, it's literally about a 20-second process. But yeah, let me grab. Here's some examples of some of the ads that you're going to get access to, done for you image ads to put on Craigslist. Right here, as you're going to see, we take a very different approach with our Craigslist ads. We don't just do the boring old text ads or the built-in photos into Craigslist. We do a high-impact call-to-action images that actually get people to click. Here's another one that I do where the images look like video players, and we're offering to let them see videos of homes for sale in their area. And I get realtors to work this with me, and the realtors love it, because I'm driving more traffic to their listings, and we're both capturing leads. But what happens when they go and try to click the video player? Well, it redirects them to a landing page, so you capture a lead. Here's a free giveaway of individuals. This is a 37-page home buyers report, and we give you the report already done for you, 27 pages. You can brand it with your logo and your name on it if you want. But again, a clickable button. Download the free guide now. So now you have buyers or first-time home buyers coming to snag these. Got landing pages, just all sorts of really cool tools. Now, I've shown you guys just 3 of the sample images out of a huge package. You're going to get image after image. What do we have, over a dozen image ads that we're going to give them?
It's a lot, man. It's a lot, yeah.
Images. So I've just shown you a couple, but you can just see by looking at the quality of these images, where else would you get this quality? Are you a Photoshop expert? Are you going to hire a graphics artist to make these? These are expensive to make images. We've already made them for you, and we've tested them to prove that they work again and again and again and again for years. So these ads are the types of ads that get results on Craigslist, and you're going to get all of them done for you. I mean, hiring somebody to make these types of graphics. I mean, I have a team of graphics artists, guys. I could tell you, you know, at the $35 an hour, a single good ad, plan on spending about 60, 70, 80 bucks for a single ad. Now imagine getting a dozen of them made. That's already paid for itself 3 times over, you know, just for attending the lead summit, you know, and they've already proven to work. They will get leads for you.
Yeah, somebody said, and I appreciate this answer because it's honest, you know, asking why they didn't register. And they said the only reason I haven't signed up is that I have a learning disability. I don't learn like most people. Repetition is key for me. So I see this once, I'm screwed. Well, here's the thing. We're giving you access to these sessions and all the recordings and the mastermind, everything. That will all be in the members area. You know, and that one-time fee gets you in. So it's going to be $5 right now to reserve your spot, to save your spot, so you can actually show up that day. The remaining balance is going to be $292. Okay, so a total of $297 you're going to pay. So here's what you're getting with that, guys. Is you're getting obviously all the sessions. You get to bring a real estate agent to the second part of the day, so they can get value out of the sessions on how to get listings. You're going to get my web TV show platform that I'm going to give you. A website that's $1,000 value. You're going to get the landing page that I use, one of the ones that I use for Facebook. You're going to get the 2 mastermind calls, you know, for talk about Facebook and probably a lot of other marketing things afterwards. So, you know, our goal in this was to stack the value really high for you, so that I understand that maybe some of you are in the place where you don't have the money, and I understand that, you know, but you know, I feel, and I know that Chad agrees, that we've lined up some awesome things, you know, for you to really implement these things right away, to where you can start generating cash right away, start generating business right away. So again, $5 gets you in, and the remaining balance will be charged to your card the day after the event. Now, listen, we are implementing the honor system. That is not, does not mean that you can just take advantage of us and go and suck up all that content for free or for $5, right? I mean, really, we want people to be, you know, we're putting our best foot forward and trusting people, and we're hoping that everybody will, you know, do the right thing. But we don't want there to be a reason to keep you out. So, you know, we want you to take advantage of that.
Right, right. And I do see some guys asking if there's a monthly fee attached to it afterwards or anything, and the answer to that is no. No, it's a one-time, guys. One-time. So awesome. Let me just show you guys here right quick that you guys are asking about how do you add text to these slides. You just pick how you want your text to appear. Do you want it to be static? Do you want it to be centered and have a fade effect? Do you want it to slide onto the screen? For example, if I chose I wanted my text to slide, all I do is I grab this and I just add it where I want it to go. And then YouTube's going to show me an example up here with it's going to show the video player above. And now if I type my text in here, so once I type it into here, what I type into this box is what will appear ultimately on the screen. See how that slides onto the screen, guys? And then it sticks around however long I tell it to. Do I want it to be 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, what? Or maybe I want to change it from small text to very large text, or maybe I want to put it in bold, or I want to change the font color or font size. All of that can be modified, all at the click of a button right here in YouTube. And when I'm happy with it, I click Done, and YouTube adds it to the slideshow video. It's that simple, guys. Super simple. That's the beauty of YouTube, is it's so darn easy to use. So that's really, again, just an example of the quality of instruction and strategies that you're going to learn. These are things that work. These aren't just little gimmicks. These are things that actually bring value to the table. And if you guys are wondering, well, what other value does this bring to the table? Let me throw this out here for you. Since this only takes 4 or 5 minutes, or let's say it even took you up to 10 minutes to make a video, what happens if you made a goal for yourself to do 1 video a day for your local real estate agent? Well, then that would mean at the end of the month, you'd have about between 25 and 30 videos out there. Mm-hmm. And then the end of next month, you'd have anywhere from what, 60 to 70 videos out there? What happens 3 months from now, 4 months from now, 5 months from now? Each of these videos is going to get a number of potential home buyers viewing them. Once you have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, even 100 plus videos out there, each of them getting viewed again and again and again every single month by potential home buyers, and you can even put links and calls to action and your phone numbers. You can put your phone numbers in the slide. That's one of the caveats with the realtors I work with, is I tell them, hey, I want my phone number in there as a potential finance guy. You know, hey, to find out how to get into this home for X amount of dollars down, call this, or email here, or go to this website. I put clickable buttons and calls to action in the video, and I'll show you guys how to do all of that. But now you have leads coming in every single month by leveraging something that doesn't cost you anything. You're leveraging the one thing that home buyers want, homes. We as loan officers, we don't have bait like this. You know, we can't entice people to this level. You know, homes and real estate that's exciting. People like to talk about their, you know, dream home and share pictures of it. They don't share 1003 apps with each other and go, hey, check out this interest rate.
Yeah.
You know, but they do share properties. So you have something that's potentially viral and shareable. And you're going to have hundreds of them out there in the coming months. Imagine the amount of leads you can get off of these videos once you build up that nice collection. So you're helping the realtor, but you're helping yourself at the exact same time. And that's the only way to do business, is it's got to be mutually beneficial.
Now, we had somebody ask a question about the support system. If they can call to have someone help them with strategies after they purchase. Now, of course, we're going to have the whole event on Tuesday, and then after that, we'll have all the sessions available in the members area to go and watch over. We'll rebroadcast the event the following Tuesday. So let's say if you can't get a realtor there on this coming Tuesday, maybe it's just too short of a notice. Well, bring them on the 6th, in the afternoon, have them attend. Now, we'll have support when we do the mastermind calls. That's going to be the chance where we can all come together. We'll talk about these strategies and see what issues you are having, okay? And who knows, I might even bring in some, how would you guys like it if I brought in some of my real estate guys? Maybe I'll bring in my 2 partners, and they can talk about more so on the realtor point of view on some additional strategy sessions. So listen, I'm open to doing that stuff as well, in addition to what we already got set and scheduled. Because again, I want you guys to get the value, and this is not just a thing, for us to, hey, we just want to put something together and make money. No, we want you to have value. We want you to grow your business, okay? And so that's why we're doing this. And so we want that to be a reality. We want you guys and gals to get that value. So, yeah, we want to make sure that you really knock it out of the park, with information. But at the end of the day, it's going to take you implementing the strategies. Okay, we can give you the best strategy in the world, but unless you actually do it, you're not going to have any results. So that's going to be very, very crucial.
Perfect. Yeah, the bottom line is at the end of the day, what we're going to show you, we know works. We've used it again and again and again. It's the whole definition of insanity thing. If you're not getting the results you want now, or if you're worried about the fact that we're heading into a purchase market, and you want to start bringing in more purchase leads, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We want to show you how to do things differently. How to do things, and implement and utilize proven strategies. The YouTube video strategy that I demonstrated to you guys, it's used in more than just the mortgage and real estate industry. It's used in all sorts of industries very, very successfully. So what I'm showing you guys is it doesn't just work here. It works in pretty much anything you want to do. Ultra powerful, and we'll show you how to get that traffic. We'll show you how to put clickable buttons into the YouTube video. Add a call capture hotline to the description. All sorts of really cool twists and tweaks to make it work even better. We'll show you how to do all of that. So, the Craigslist strategy is just yet another thing where you can leverage listings and properties to get tons and tons of phone calls every single week. Proven borrowers, buyers, people interested in buying a home, people interested in selling a home. You become
Yeah, here's the thing.
agent.
On those mastermind sessions, we'll actually go through and we'll build ads together. Okay, well, we can talk about different scenarios. If you want to go after a certain demographic or a certain market, we can walk through how to actually do it. To get results. What would be cool, Chad, too, is if we actually maybe did a live demonstration with a loan officer, right? So if we did strategy session 1 the week after, and we actually set up a campaign, maybe, we picked a loan officer, and we turn on a campaign, and then the next strategy session, maybe a couple of weeks later, we see what kind of leads they've gotten.
Right.
We can analyze the campaign.
You got it. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. I'm very excited.
Yeah. Somebody asked where it was. It's online, guys. It's right here. You can turn it right from your computer.
Yep.
When you register, what will happen is you will receive a username and password. It will automatically be emailed to you. There will be a unique link to where you go. You log into the events on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern, and that's where you will be a part of the event. We'll have live chat. You can talk with other loan officers. So that's where you'll watch the event. So
perfect. Yeah,
it is all day long,
dude.
Yeah.
Very excited to demonstrate some of this stuff.
Yeah, the event is all day long. It starts at 10 a.m. and I think it ends like 6. Now, I'm letting you guys off early because my first event I did for realtors was 3 days long, and it was 8 hours a day.
Wow.
There were no breaks.
Holy cow.
So I know if the realtors can do it, I know that you loan officers can do 1 day. It's going to be intensive, and that's one of the reasons we wanted to give you the recordings, so that way you're going to miss some sessions. You might have to run out to an appointment or whatever. You can attend, just jump in there after the event to watch them on demand after we get them all loaded up in the members area. Again, there's no ongoing fee. It's just a one-time fee, $297 total. $5 gets you in. Here's the deal. Please do not register if you just plan to cancel and use us for our, be nice. Please don't do that. I mean, that would be very frustrating, But again, if you're honestly, you want to go in there and you want to check out information, absolutely, we want you to register. But I'm not interested in having people who just want to abuse the system. Would you agree with that, Chad, or is that too blunt?
Yeah, no. I think that's a fair comment because we're basically putting this. We're basically trying to take that risk away from you and put it on us. Hey, now it's up to us to deliver great content. Now we know we're going to deliver great content. But I've experienced this in other industries as well. Individuals that like to order and then cancel. But then take the information and run with it. And that's not what this is for. It's there just to show you guys that, hey, this is not going to be one of those, buyer's remorse, like, wow, that did not live up to expectations. This is something where we're saying, hey, the onus is on us to deliver, and here's how we prove it. That we're giving you, the option, to get in for $5 and only pay after we've delivered that material. So we're going to deliver some kick butt material here, and I'm super excited to present my part of this section of the segment. Yeah. So, and then, like we said, we're going to be there. There'll be opportunities to get your questions answered. And if you can't make it, like you said, we're going to rebroadcast. Plus, we're going to record every single session and send it to you as a video. So you'll have opportunity after opportunity to review this and go back through it if you miss out on any of the segments throughout the day, because we know you're busy. So, so we'll make sure that everything's available to you right away.
Yeah, there's still several people trying to order. If you guys are having any issues, definitely shoot me an email. Here's my email right here, and that number will come right to my desk. Obviously, I'm on this webinar right now, but we'll make sure that we get you set up, because I know that we've had a lot of traffic hit the site, one fell swoop. So the gerbils might be a little bit slow today. So we do want to make sure that there's an opportunity for you all to get in. So we have a bunch more who registered, Chad.
Perfect. Well, I just popped my email over in the chat box too, guys. So if you have it, if we missed your question, it's not intentional. We had, according to this, what did we have? Somewhere around, 626 questions today. So if we missed your question, it's not intentional, but there was over 600 questions asked. So we got to as many of them as humanly possible. If we missed it, I put my email in there. Chris, if you want to throw yours in there too. Contact either of us, and we're more than happy to answer your questions and make sure that you're comfortable. So,
yeah, and somebody asked when we want them to bring the agents. Yes, bring them in the afternoon about 3. When you register, you'll receive a link on how to register the agent, and it'll have a schedule in there. So we're planning to start the agent sessions about 3 o'clock. We could run over a little bit. Just depends how long-winded Chad is. I know he's got a ton of information to share on Craigslist, and so we'll just have we'll play it as close as we can, but we'll shoot out an email as well as the event's going along to all the agents, letting them know when they can get in. Plus, they'll have access to the members area as well to be able to go and look at that information afterwards. So.
Perfect.
How long will the video recordings be available after the summit? I don't think we have a really defined time. What do you think, Chad?
Yeah, it's going to be there, guys. What should we give it? 30 minutes? I'm sorry, not 30 minutes. 30 days? 60 days? What do you think is?
I think 60 days would be great.
All right, so that sounds good to me. So, guys, 60 days, a full 2 months to go back in and download, re-download, rewatch, go through, implement. So, plenty of time there. Plus, like you said, the rebroadcast as well. So, yeah, I think we'll do what we have to make sure that you guys get the information in a timely fashion and have time to implement it.
Yeah, somebody asked about how to get realtors to this. Well, you're allowed one realtor, and what I would say, if you don't know them, you can call them and say, hopefully you have some kind of connection with them or you've talked to them before, instead of just being a complete cold call. But if it is, you can say, hey, there's an awesome training about how to get listings. That's going to happen on Tuesday about 3 o'clock. It's like an online webinar, and the price is $300. But I've got a ticket for you. I can only invite one real estate agent, and I'd love to get you there because I know that a lot of agents are struggling with getting listings. So I think it'd be great for you to come and check out these sessions. So that's exactly how I would approach it.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? That's actually a marketing strategy that I've used in the past. I had when I first, again, as a new loan officer, trying to find a way to make myself relevant to local realtors, was I sent them an email that basically just stated that, hey, what part of what I'm doing over the next 90 days is, doing my best to appeal to, borrowers and buyers. We're both going after the same people, home buyers, and I've hired myself a coach, and the coach suggested that 2 heads are better than 1, so whatever the coach teaches me, I want to work hand in hand with local real estate agents. Unfortunately, I only have time to work with X amount of realtors. Please contact me if you'd like to learn more. And I was flooded with emails of agents going, yeah, tell me more, because they're looking for the same thing you are. And coming from a position of authority, saying, hey, I bought something, from a guru, from a coach, from a this, from a that, they want access to that information too. So I made it available to them and got me lots of appointments. So that approach does work. You get them to sit in with you and, leave it up to us to keep hinting at the fact that they need to be working with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. Yes, realtors can watch right from their office, so they don't have to come to your office. Now, if you want to invite them over to your office, you absolutely can. That'd be great to have them there. Just order in some dessert or something, you know.
There you go.
But yeah, they can absolutely tune in from their office. So, and we still have almost 100 people in here, Chad.
Excellent, excellent. Well, did if I missed any questions, guys, or Chris missed any questions? Just
Yeah, if for some reason you're not able to get through, or you didn't get your confirmation email, give it a few time, you know, a little bit of time. But you do have our emails. Make sure you do email us. I mean, we'll definitely respond to you. Make sure you're set up, that you have everything that you need. You know, sometimes, especially if you have Gmail, okay, Gmail has created this new tab called Promotions, and anything that says anything that they think is marketing, it will go into that tab. So if you have a Gmail account, you know, it could be in another tab, which is just a big pain in the butt. All right, we just have a few more people register here. Sherry, welcome. Look forward to having you. Brittany, Marquita, Mike, Tim. Well, you guys, I mean, still almost 100 strong here. So are you waiting to get more questions answered, guys? Or any of you that have not registered for the event, where is the agenda? The agenda is on the main page that we were showing here, right below down here. This is the schedule. Frank the Man from the National Real Estate Post, he'll be up first, then G.I. Joe Chad, then Doran, Chris, my good friend Josh. He's going to talk about 6 steps to consistent listing a FSBO a week. Awesome, awesome session. These are my 2 partners, Josh and John. These guys are ridiculous rock stars, real estate guys. And then my buddy Darren Bloomquist, the VP of Realty Track, is going to be there. So that's yeah, that's pretty. Darren is a very smart guy. I mean, he's on Fox News, CNN, Fox Business, Bloomberg, all the time talking about the housing market. And we're going to jump in on, you know, how to use the data that's available to get REO listings, and talk about some foreclosure trends that are actually pretty important. So what else can we talk about? I mean, we're still a lot of people on the webinar. Are you
yeah, I mean, I got a secondary webinar. I got to hop on here in just a bit. But also, I see a lot of you guys. I have about 60 requests for the Serious Mortgage Marketers group, Facebook group. So you guys will be getting your approval on that today as well. So feel free to join us in discussion and ask questions, comments, share, whatever you like. The group is just growing by leaps and bounds, and it's a great way to also see, you know, and chat with other loan officers across the country who are also out there making things happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, again, guys, if you didn't receive the email, please just shoot us an email. We'll make sure that you're set up, or if you some reason you couldn't get registered, we want to make sure that you get taken care of. So, well, Chad, I guess that's it. I mean, unless I don't think we have any other questions. Somebody said they don't want to leave, but they have to go eat.
All right, so I'm so glad you guys were able to join us today, and we look forward to seeing you next week on the Lead Summit. And I hope you guys have your thinking caps on and a notebook full of paper, a couple of sharpened pencils, and ready to rock.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, so much for your time today.
Awesome. Have a good one, guys.
Awesome. See you guys.
Bye.